Good morning, everybody. This is your favorite guy, Socks, coming to you this morning because want to talk about some things that were of interest in some of my circles, and for some of those who are new to cybersecurity. It was the Welcome Cybersecurity Roadmap. We want to talk about it, get a little bit in depth about it, and that's what we'll do here today. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys about 30 seconds to lock in, to get seated, to get all the things that you need to take notes, as well as go gather a friend, inform people about what's going on today and what we're talking about this morning um, with regard to cybersecurity. So, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and start our rusty, trusty, faithful 30-second countdown timer, and I'll be back. See you soon. And welcome back. I hope that you guys are buckled in and excited for some of the content that we're going to deliver today. Um, this Let me go ahead and pull up on the screen, or let me present share, where you can go to get access to this lovely piece of information, as well as let me go ahead and just go ahead and grab the PDF, since we're here. That will allow for us to kind of show and share what we're looking at here. Give me 1 second. I'm just looking at my audio levels right now, so that things are showing up. We go here. I believe it's here. And then, yes, this is the PDF. So I'm just going to have the PDF on standby so that I can share that. All right. All right. I have some updates that's happening that need to do a little bit of restart. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and present a screen. Let's share a screen. Okay, so the screen I'm going to share is here. All right, guys. I got nice and small. For those of you who tuned in last week, or I think even now, a few weeks back, you will saw that I was having a great panel discussions with a few near and dear friends, where we talked about navigating some of the places into cybersecurity, like ways for us to get involved, to join, to kind of find out the best way for us to get started. And what I did was I created a quick GitLab. If you're interested, I'll drop it in the chat, or can I post it right here? I'll do that. How about I post? Let me copy that. Um, and let me drop that down for you. Here is the link for the GitLab repo that has the actual map. So let's go ahead and drop that there, and let's show that right here. All right, so you'll go to right there below, https gitlab.com/free range socks, and you're going to go to the Welcome to Cybersecurity. Once you go there to this link, you'll be able to have access to not only this repo, but some of the other repos that I have publicly available that I've either found on the internet and thought that they were pretty cool, or have created myself. As I begin getting better and better at not only documenting but creating spaces where people can come to gather resources. I just want to make sure that it's accessible not only for for my internal group of friends, but to those of you who want to take the time to check out some of the stuff that I'm posting. Um, uh, as you can see, we have two different links, but these two different links are a file that go to the same location. And what that location is here, let me stop sharing this. Is actually, let me present this. Let me put this up. It's actually, let's share this. Okay. Bam. We're going to share a window, which is this one. Bam. Okay. So, if you look over to the right, if you follow my mouse, you'll see the actual welcome cybersecurity roadmap, or intro to cybersecurity roadmap that I had a hand in creating. We went out, we looked into the internet to try and find a collection um, of information or ways to help a person that has zero experience or a little bit of experience. And while it's not an exhaustive approach, it's an approach nonetheless that I believe will add some value to all the people who decide to enter into this quite wonderful field. Let's see if I can make it bigger and I can be a picture, or we can just let's just pull me off because you don't have to look at me. All right, so we'll do this and we'll get rid of my banner here so that we can see how big the overall map is. Here it comes with the key. The key defines what's available, and let's just go through this in a way that I believe might aid or make things a little bit easier for people. So let me zoom in a little bit. So, as you can see on the screen, we have four different sections. We have free and open source. We have the certifications needed corresponding to the path that you choose to take, the skills that are covered or offered within that sector of cybersecurity, and then the cybersecurity role or function is in black. So, right off the top, I just want to give you guys kind of a compass so that you can navigate this map. Remember, again, like I said before, it's not exhaustive. It's pretty broad, but it'll continue building. Now it's intended to get people exposed and to leverage brevity over exhaustiveness, because I think that's where we end up losing many of the people who want to join our noble profession, is that there are so many choices and decisions that are available for people, but the because of the opportunities that are available and the expansiveness of cybersecurity, it just becomes overwhelming to most people. So I often get that question: where do we start? Right. I wanted to tell you guys very quickly also, the intro to cybersecurity PDF provides a comprehensive overview of various aspects uh, uh, of essential tools needed or understandings for individuals entering the cybersecurity field. Some of the things that I chose to focus on, I believe, aligned with some foundational understandings that we, as people who are entering into the profession, need to not only know but also understand. Um, and with that said, my the free and open source learning resources, or that green plus, it discusses and introduces a very important thing such as access to education within the cybersecurity realm. The ability, or what I've always wanted to be, is someone who could lower the technical requirement needed to enter into our beloved profession. So Cisco's Packet Tracer Cybery, Stanford University's Computer and Network Security lecture available on YouTube are a few things that I found on the internet that apply to the certain sections that people were interested in, and that also correlated with some of the paths that I have listed here on the PDF. Of course, when we start talking about certifications, people often come and approach me and they talk to me about whether or not CompTIA or JIAC certifications are better, or like what's the best thing. Should I get my EJPT versus my OSCP? And my argument is this: that we have a myriad of opportunity to learn, to go forth, and to be involved inside of the cyberspace. And one of the things that are before us are different training methods. And while CompTIA has their version of, X certification or certification X, and JIAC has, and when I say JIAC, I'm talking SANS. SANS has their version, and a lot of other different ways. I think that um, it depends on your learning, your learning methodology. Do you do better with having the resources available to go out and to find the answers during testing environments, or do you have a more academic approach where you study and then you retain and you regurgitate from rote memorization? I can't tell you, I can't speak one against the certificates that exist out there, because I'm not a certificate producing entity. But I can say that I've had mixed interactions with them, and regardless of how I feel, the industry does require certification. So pay attention. Let's talk about the CCNA and the CISSP and its necessity, and how it demonstrates a person's ability to understand core concepts within their different areas. And then we talk about CompTIA and their Network Plus and the CISM, and their 8150 or 8175 certification with relationship to DoD requirements, or 5520. I think I might have that one wrong. But there's definitely pipelines. The nice pipeline that exists for cybersecurity does a good job at mapping as well. But I would say that my map is not a replacement for their map. It can be used as augmentation. As think of it as the kiddie pool, something that's been boiled down, that's easier for people that are non-technical to be able to look, digest, and then sit down and plan so that they can enter into the larger pool. Learn how to swim in a swimming pool versus swimming inside of an ocean, right? And then skill development, right? Skill development in cybersecurity. We need to talk about the expectation, and where that sits and lies when we start the pursuit of becoming a cybersecurity professional. Um, and how that creative thinking and out of the box thinking often goes a long way, but it's not going to beat out critical thinking. Critical thinking skills are paramount in this space, and there's no amount of training that can can um, can force that into you per se. I think that is something that that gets developed over time, or developed through being very intentional about learning how to think critically. And a lot of the time, I think that critical thinking is an affect of being exposed to environments that require for you to be able to synthesize the information that you're receiving in both the mathematical realm and the artistic realm, and making sense of what you're seeing, as well as having a well understood way to execute goal X, Y, and Z, or project X, Y, and Z, if that makes sense. So I've talked enough. You've seen my image. Let's jump in, okay? All right, so we're gonna go straight to the center. I think that will be the best way ahead. And pardon me for my bad utilization of the mouse pad. Let me zoom in just a little bit more. All right. So, as I showed before, let me zoom in a little bit more. Whoop. As I showed before, that there is a color code associated with everything. And we have our intro to cybersecurity. Let's zoom out a little bit so that we can get all 6 sections that I chose to focus on. And while, again, like I said, this is not an exhaustive approach, this is a general approach which will allow a person to kind of look at the tenets of cybersecurity as they choose which path that they want to take. My apologies on the lack of AI and machine learning and big data representation inside this map, because I didn't have at the time of creation. I just roughly threw this together from a little bit of research that I did, and I failed to create the AI and ML addition, as that's something that's coming up as a new frontier in cybersecurity. So maybe in V2 we'll talk about what that looks like when we start talking about prompt engineering and building and interacting with large language models, and what that could possibly look like, and its integration, where we're going to start to see AI influence automation within cybersecurity realms. That's going to be pretty exciting. But again, this is a brief overview, not an exhaustive one, right? So let's move forward. We have network security, identity and access management, governance, risk and compliance, security awareness and training, incident response and forensics, endpoint and application security. Those are the 6 truths that I've seen as I've found myself inside of cybersecurity, um where things tend to find the most overlap are inside of those spaces. So the way that this map is to be used is, hey, I'm fresh out of school, or I've never been to school. I'm looking to transition my employment to another space. So I'm going to look at these things, and they're going to inform me of, like, kind of what the profession, or um what the focus of the job would be. And then, for instance, if we're going to follow, let's follow differ, or incident responsive forensics. My apologies, we're here. The way that you would read this is you come here, and then we start talking about what type of skill sets would encompass this particular job set, right? Well, you could do threat hunting, so you'll be proactively looking for signs of malicious activity, nefarious things on a company's network. Incident handling and response. So we're talking about how, once we discover that there's been a breach, or if we're being proactive, and we want to look at the overall of the environment, that there's a part that fits into that. But again, incident response, right? An incident has occurred. So we're starting to talk about procedures and protocols needed to mitigate and to respond to security incidents such as phishing attacks, leakage, improperly configured public facing websites, which provide initial access. And then we go to digital forensics, right? Understanding the skill sets that's necessary in order for you to maintain proper chain of custody when we're dealing with a cyber incident, right? That's super important because we want to make sure we have the proper people in place handling the data in a very clean a clean and lawful way, so that if you have to take the stand, if they choose to, they being the company that you're protecting, decides to go the prosecutorial method or route, that they're not being burdened, or they don't lose the opportunity to recapture for damages due to some type of improper utilization of the material that was gathered or the evidence that had been gathered, meaning that there was no assurance throughout the entire process of gathering and preserving that information, so that people would be able to come to the same conclusion that machine breach, right? Looks like I have a compliment here. Hey, what's going on, Tech Coach Ralph? Welcome. um, so again, I'm gonna jump back in. I'm gonna go ahead and post again where you can find this map. We'll put it right here so that you can find it at gitlab.com / free range socks / welcome to cybersecurity. All right. With that said, let's move on. So, within just incident response, here's our skill sets that's expected to be displayed, or the type of activities that you'll expect to do within this type of role. And we'll go this way. Oh, network hiccup. There we go. Looks like we're having a small network hiccup. And we're back. My apologies, everybody, for the slowdown, but I'm gonna go ahead back off. All right, and here we are. All right, so when we talk about the blue is always the certification that has been identified as important, or as needed in order to perform this job. And um, these certifications, you can handle how robust our information is. And we're back. um thanks for everybody who held on for me. Let's go ahead and get to this last part, and then we'll be ready to close it on out. All right, so along this path, right? The green plus sign was always for open source material or open source training, so that you could learn some of the skill sets that's required inside of this particular direction of training, or this path line, right? So for each of the six that I have identified, all of them have an open source component. Here we have Cyber Aces Online, Google Rapid Response. It was an open source platform that was in place for people to be able to push out not only network monitoring, but bots, which is pretty close to using something like Security Onion. Um, and also they had some walkthroughs as well. And then we of course have the SAN investigative toolkit, which is, SIFT is a really robust um, OVA or operating system that has the tools that are necessary for a person to get acclimated to some of the things that you're used to interfacing with within incident response team. Flare VM has one. There's there's a few other operating systems such as Rimnux that exists for people who want to get into incident response and malware analysis as well. Um, some of the people, we're gonna do one more path, and then we'll close out, kind of the overview, because it's pretty much the same. You get the sphere of interest. We get some very high level skill sets or things that you'll do within this particular focus, and then the certification that's associated with this particular job focus, as well as an um, uh, open source component for you to go forth and try out. Um, so uh, in this case, security awareness training. So for those people who don't quite want to be hands on keyboard, but they want to work with people, they want to protect the most dangerous piece of infrastructure inside of any business, which is their employees. Um, this is for you. Security awareness and training. We have employee training, and if you guys have worked like I've worked, you have to do your yearly security assessment or awareness training, and throughout the year they'll have phishing simulation. So you get some crazy email from your uncle in some type of foreign country asking you to cash a check, or to give them $50 to get $1 million back. And then we have, of course, the security awareness campaign that is, when done really well, is super beneficial and useful to organizations, because it transitions us from doing, the security awareness where you're like, oh God, let me start a pistol, to I probably shouldn't be able to say that. Let me pull that back. From being bored out your mind to um things such as competitions across different verticals, where, because this group found the most phishing campaigns inside of the job, they got, Starbucks gift cards for everybody, or at the business Christmas party they get some type of award, or get showcased as, as the most secure sector of the organization. I mean, like, it can be fun. And before putting together this map, I didn't know to help people who were interested in security awareness training. Like, I just thought it was regular people who were, good with some type of training, or they had training background. Um, Certified information systems security professional. Yes, everyone knows about the CISP, but the certified security awareness practitioner had no idea that that exists. The the um the the CompTIA certified technical trainer plus, I had no idea that that exists. So it's super cool to see that there's certifying bodies that exist that will enable people to be successful in that way. And then we have our open source stuff, right? Open security training, right? It has tons of information that you guys can just Google this stuff. We have Cybrary. Everyone knows Cybrary. And Phishing Frenzy, which is another little framework that helps people learn about phishing awareness campaigns and how to put those together in order to better secure the posture of your business. So we've gone across two of the six. I'm not going to go through all six because I just went through two and we're at 31 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and pop over and look at some of the. Let me go back to me. Um, and again, if you're interested in picking up that PDF, here it is right here. Um, it was a labor of love. Feel free to contribute, do pull requests to add things to the GitLab that I have for people getting into cybersecurity. If you got some good reading resources or something like that, feel free to share them there, or at least get in contact with me, and I'll do what I can to make sure that that happens. Um, Let me also stop my screen share. Let me also get to a few comments because I got a comment. I want to shoot a super shout out to Tech Coach Ralph. I want to with and from. Um, and we have another one pull request and leave comments. That's pretty cool. A friend of ours created an AI bot to automatically review pull requests and leave comments. That's super dope. If you guys can teach me some of this stuff, I'll be more than grateful to take on this very new learned thing. But as you guys saw, my internet is being a little wonky because of the weather outside. It's ridiculous. And you guys know I'm at an undisclosed government facility locked inside of a basement communicating to you guys live. So with that said, that wasn't true, but it's fun to pretend. Um, I hope that you guys have a great day. This is pretty much toward the end of my lunch break, and I just hope that this brings you guys all the knowledge and pleasure possible when you learn and you're getting out there to get active in the cybersecurity realm. If you guys got questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to drop in anything underneath any of the platforms that you're able to watch this through. That's my Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter are all providing you guys links and understanding information regarding this broadcast. And I want to thank you guys. Stay cyber safe.